Hello and welcome to Brain Injured and Bored. I don't know what episode or what week or anything. Kind of given up on that for right now. I'm in my bedroom still. I just want more privacy while I filmed this. But yeah. Since last week, last week feels like forever ago. That last time I filmed feels like forever ago, and then the last time I talked to David feels like an eternity. I don't understand. Hasn't even been like 2 weeks, and it feels like it was so far away. I want to be really honest about how I'm doing. I was considering like not saying as much because, I just didn't know how much to say, but I'm gonna be really honest about how I'm doing and how I'm feeling, and this is for me. This isn't for anyone else. So yeah. I've been doing as best as I can. And what I mean by that is, I understand this is a really hard time in my life. Big changes happening against my will. Well, that was harsh, but, big changes are happening to me without me being an active participant in it. And there's just a lot of thoughts and feelings happening, and yeah, again, I'm taking it moment by moment. It's not day by day yet. It's just minute by minute. Whatever I'm feeling, I'm just letting myself feel. If I need to cry, I'll just cry. If I need to be angry, I'll just be angry. I cried walking through the mall. I've cried through Target. Just whatever I need to do, I do. Something that's been helping me is whenever I have a thought, whether it be, just whatever the thought is, instead of letting it get stuck in my mind, I will write it in like my notes app. And that helps because it's going somewhere else. It's not just getting bounced around and I think about it more and whatever. It gets put in the notes app. Whatever, I was just doing my sad thoughts and that sort of stuff. But even when I've had like moments where I feel okay, I write it down. And so that's been helping. And I go back and read, and see, and try to look for patterns and see what's going on. But yeah, I'm doing as best as I can. Yesterday, I didn't cry at all, which I was very surprised and very confused by. But today I've cried a lot, so yeah. Right now, what I'm thinking, like what I'm just kind of getting stuck on, I guess, is a few things. One, being I don't know when I should reach out to David. I know there's a bunch of elements to this. One is like logistically, I need to talk to him because I have his stuff, he has some of my stuff, and we need, I feel like we need to talk about. I have questions that I want answered, and we just have to talk about things. But also, I was at the door. But also, I want to make sure my intentions when I talk to him are the right intentions. So, it feels very strange to go 4.5 years of talking to someone every single day, and then not talking to them at all. And so I want to make sure that my intentions are not, I don't know the best way to word this, but I want to make sure I'm talking to him for the right reasons, not just because I miss him or I miss talking to him. It's, for a purpose. And I do feel like at some point, we could get to a point where, we can talk to each other, like, hey, how are you doing? And whatever. But, it's been a week and a half or, however long. So that feels like too soon to do that. I'm thinking about, giving it a few more weeks. Before reaching out, because again, like, I do genuinely have questions. I genuinely have, things I want to talk about and discuss, but one, I want to make sure that I'm doing it for the right reasons, and two, I want to make sure that I'm at a place where I can handle it, or not handle it, but because I can handle it now, but at a place where I am I don't know the term I'm trying to use. I want to be able to process my emotions and process my feelings and be able to communicate in a very clear and just understanding way, you know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I'm trying to figure out, like, when is a good time to reach out. I doubt he'll reach out to me. I think I'll have to be the one to reach out, so I'm just trying to think about that. I'm also getting hung up on how he's feeling and how he's doing. And I go back and forth between, you know, he's fine. And I think this is just my brain. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I actually do this, but you know, part of me thinks he's fine and he's happy and he's just living life and moving on and doesn't really think about it that much. But another part of me is like, no. God. Oh, I don't want to cry. Another part of me is like, no, because this is so stupid. Not stupid. I shouldn't say that. It's really personal. Whenever he left, God. Oh, I've done so much crying. Okay. Whenever he left, after we talked, he left very quickly and just kind of turned around and beelined out the door. Didn't turn back, didn't say anything. Well, he said goodbye and then, you know, just left. And at first that felt very harsh. Felt kind of, not very harsh, felt kind of cold, but then I had a memory, and it was that's the same way he left the airport whenever he dropped me off for England. He just had to go. He just had to get out. He couldn't emotionally handle the situation. He couldn't emotionally handle saying goodbye to me, so he just had to turn around and walk away, just like not turn back. And that was the same walk. It's very it's weird that I know that that's what that is, but it was the same walk. And so, you know, he was also in this, just because he's the one that that initiated this and that did this, and you know, broke this thing off. Doesn't mean that he doesn't care. Doesn't mean that he wasn't in it as well. It doesn't mean that he's not going through it. I don't know. I go back and forth. I go back and forth between that, and I go back and forth between he's fine and he's happy and he's moving on, living life and doing whatever. I just wish I knew. I don't know why I want to know. I just do. So I'm getting stuck on when to talk to him. I'm getting stuck on how he's feeling. I'm getting stuck on, and this is a very weird that I didn't expect to happen. I didn't expect to think this, but the past week and a half, since David and I talked, I have done more with my head than I have like almost this entire year. I have tried new things. I have like done a lot of new stuff. And it's very odd. I don't understand it. It feels like a switch just flipped out of nowhere. I wasn't like, the only thing that I have done is like, I don't want, you know, this to get in the way of my recovery. That's been very clear. But I haven't like actively done any like mental work on this. This just happened. I just like woke up on Saturday. Like he came and talked to me on Friday. On Saturday, I just woke up And I don't know, I feel not afraid to do anything. I don't feel scared to try anything. I don't feel scared to branch out. I don't feel scared to, like, I don't feel any of that anymore. And I don't understand why. I have spent the night at other places multiple times. I've rarely been home, actually, if I'm being completely honest. I've rarely been home. Nala misses me. I miss her. But I've spent the night at other people's houses, multiple houses. I have hung out at houses all day. I have ridden in the car with a blindfold multiple times to do multiple things. I have plans to go to get-togethers and go to parties, and so I don't understand what has happened. I'm starting a driving lesson this week. I don't understand what has happened. I don't understand. Because it's not like, I mean, it's not like David was like preventing me from doing any of this stuff. If anything, he was encouraging me, he was supporting me, he was, so it's not that. I just don't understand. I don't understand where this is coming from. But I've done a lot, and I'm gonna continue to do a lot, and it's just weird. Again, I don't understand it. And I think that's one thing that's helping me is, this does feel like a new chapter in life. This does feel like a new beginning. This feels like, the one day, the future, the like, oh, one day I'll get better. One day I'll, do this. One day I'll do that. It's right now. I got shoved into the next chapter of my life. I got forced into it. And so maybe that's it. Maybe it's just like, okay, well, it's time to move on. It's time to move past this. And that's when my brain just like, all right, let's do it. It's very weird, and I don't understand it. And part of me feels guilty for two reasons. I feel guilty for myself for like, oh, I could have been doing this sooner, and I could have been like progressing more, and I could have been in a much further along place than I am right now. And I feel guilty for myself for letting myself down like that. But then I also feel guilty for David, because he wouldn't have had to take care of me as much. He wouldn't, we could have gone out and done things. We could have, could have had like a real girlfriend and not just someone to take care of. And so, and then I feel like, well, if I had done that, then this, we wouldn't have broken up, whatever. Like, my brain is spiraling in a bunch of different places. But it's just weird. I'm grateful that I'm able to do these things. I'm grateful that I'm, making progress, and I'm, doing new things. I just don't understand what the mental block was. I don't get it. I want to understand. I don't know if I will ever understand, but I'm doing a lot more, which is good. And I think that's helping me through this process, because, I'm sad and I'm severely depressed, but I also feel so not happy, because I'm not happy. I feel proud, and I feel lighter, because I'm trying these things and I'm doing it, and I haven't been able to live a real life in over a year. And so I feel like I'm starting to live a real life again. And so I guess these things happening at the same time of dealing with this big change of like a long-term breakup, and then getting my life back physically, like those happening at the same time, it's a lot. It's a lot to process. It's a lot of emotions, and I think it's good for me though to have these things happening at the same time. Although, I was at a friend's house, and I was just hanging out and doing whatever, and I just remember thinking, I wish, I was trying all these new things and talking about trying all these new things. I was like, I wish I could have done this with David. So we talked about it, and I was so excited to do that. I wish he could be here for that. Yeah. So I've been depressed obviously. Can't eat, I can't sleep, can't really think that well or concentrate. Some moments are, you know, better than others. I had one day of which it was really bad. I just couldn't move. And I expect that to happen again. You know, yesterday again was a fine day. I felt fine. I felt like, all right, this is my new life, you know, whatever. But then again, a few days ago, it was really rough. So I expect that to happen, you know, go up and down and do whatever. And I'm just taking it as it comes, and I'm not trying to force myself to do anything. I don't have any expectations for myself, just existing the way that I need to. If I'm being honest, I do miss him. I want to, like, tell him funny things that have happened, or show him, you know, jokes, or, you know, I think of a story, I'm like, oh, remember that one time? So, I miss him. God. I wonder if he misses me. I don't know. One thing that, like, I really want to stop happening, but I understand why it hasn't stopped happening yet, was I want to stop thinking about him every moment of every day. I'm not, like, consciously doing it. It's just, you know, I would think, like, okay, I think David's coming by at this time, and so we probably want to eat together, so then I'll eat at this time, so that I'll be hungry by the time, you know, like, just little things like that. Like, I would consider him throughout my day of, you know, whatever, and, he'd always kind of be on my mind if, like, oh, it's in this term, I need to tell him this thing, or I'd talk to him. He would always be on my mind, and he still is, because it's only been a week and a half, whatever. And it's hard in a way. I know it's just, like, getting out of the habit of doing that, but, you know, as soon as I wake up, I think about him, and as soon as I go to sleep, I'm thinking about him, and I've had dreams about him. God, I had one last night. It like really hurt this morning. Of I had a dream that I caught him holding hands with someone else, and it hurt me. And then I woke up from the dream, and I was like, oh, that's funny, you know. But I don't have to worry about that, because, you know, that never happened. And then I was like, oh no, it's gonna happen one day. Because I was like, oh yeah, we're still, you know, he would never do that, but now he can do whatever he wants. So that was hard. That I haven't forgotten that we have broken up, and that was the only time that this happened. That was rough. Yeah, I don't really know what to say, really. I'm just kind of chatting, I guess. I also just feel, I've had this, like, consistent feeling of it, I just feel so off balance. You know, I feel like I have, like, whiplash. I've just been thrown through this, like, huge change that I didn't see coming at all. And I feel like I have to just get my bearings and, like, find my balance. And yeah, it's just been a lot. And, you know, I had a really rough moment of thinking, like, this house doesn't feel like my house. I don't feel like myself. This doesn't feel like my life. Like, I feel like I'm in someone else's world. It doesn't feel like my world, because my world has David in it. Yeah. It's just weird. And but I'm taking, I was gonna say something else, but I don't remember. Yeah, I'm mourning. So I'm having similar feelings that I did last year, of, like, during this time I was really mourning and grieving the life I was supposed to live, because I was supposed to, like, go on these trips. I was supposed to do things with David. I was supposed to be involved in all these things. I couldn't. And so I felt like I was mourning the life that I was supposed to be living. And I kind of feel that way now. When I go to these friends' houses and when I'm doing all these different things and like riding on the blindfold, learning how to drive and all this stuff, it's like I should be doing this with him. I'm still doing it. I mean, life. I mean, it's still happening. But this period of time was supposed to look different. So that's weird. And yeah. But like I said, I'm doing the best that I can. It's moment by moment. Before this started, I was just kind of sad. I wasn't crying. I cried, like, I filmed like the first 2 minutes and I started crying, so I started over. And then yesterday I was mostly fine. And then I get on here and I start crying. And, you know, maybe 5 minutes from now I'll be fine. Or 5 minutes from now I'll be sobbing. Like, I'm just taking it moment by moment. And I wonder how he's doing. I don't know. I shouldn't ask. I know that as much as I want to reach out, as much as I want to ask him how he's doing and what he's feeling and, you know, talk and I have my questions answered. I know I need to give him more time. And so that's what I'm doing. And I want to make it, whenever I do talk to him, I do want to make it clear that I'm not going to try to, you know, get back together or anything like that. I understand that this is what's happening. Do I want it to happen? Not necessarily. But I understand that this is just what's happening. Yeah, there's just a lot going through my brain. Yeah, okay. Well, I've talked for a really long time. I should stop talking. I should probably... people have been having to, like, put food in front of me. And I think my dad might put food in front of me here in a minute, so... I do want to say something positive, though, of that. I'm proud of myself for how I'm handling it. I'm proud of myself for not spiraling. I'm proud of myself for not blaming myself. I'm proud of myself for still doing the things I need to do, and by having perspective. And I feel really so grateful for the people I have in my life. Because I was really concerned with there being a hole, or there being like a gap, in terms of like my day-to-day life, and in terms of like helping me recover, and just in general. And I don't really feel that. These people really stepped up. Well, right now, maybe I'll feel different next week or whatever, but right now I feel very cared for, and I feel very loved. So I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, okay. Well, next week I'll probably have some more things to talk about and ramble about. I'm probably gonna be like sad and like this for the next however long. Maybe not. Hopefully not. Who knows? Okay, I'm gonna stop. I could talk forever. I'm gonna stop rambling. Okay. Oh yeah, my birthday's this week. Hope I have a good time. I'll let you know. Okay, bye.